Yeah, Yngwie was a big influence for me. I mean, the thing is, what I like about Yngwie, even though I'm not really a neoclassical player, is that he really played the fast stuff, but he really means it as well. And like, even though people say you can't play a lot of notes and play with feel, Yngwie he means every note, and like you can feel that kind of intensity, and I love his playing for that. I mean, admittedly, I've only got maybe one or two of his albums.
Because they all sound the same.
They all sound very similar, but you know, as an early influence, I mean, Malmsteen just blew me away in terms of just that passion and fire in his playing.
I think Malmsteen came from the same school as Eddie, in as much as it was just raw. I mean, Malmsteen, you get the idea that he didn't work on his technique. He just was born able to do it, and just you know, just carried on. And I've met students like that, annoying little students like that you don't
can just do it.
You don't have to tell them how to hold a pick. You don't have to tell them about alternate picking. You need to show them like a scale.
Right.
These are the correct notes to play. All right. And they've got it.
That's amazing. No, I'm definitely not from that school. I mean, I find guitar hard to play, and part of what I love about the guitar is I have to fight it every day to try and play something decent, you know. But I've met those people too.
And,
do you think kind of not having a degree of natural talent? Because I always say, when people say to me, "What's your?" But do you know what I mean? People say to me, "What's your biggest talent for the guitar?" So I don't think I'm really technically gifted, but my talent is that I can play something literally for hours until I can play it. So my greatest talent musically, apart from having a good ear for melody, hopefully, is that I can really concentrate hard on something. What would you say your greatest talent is?
I'd say the same. I mean, you know, people say, "Oh, you're really gifted," and I always say, if I have a gift, it's just that I fell in love with the guitar, and I just wanted to play it all the time.
Yeah,
and that's the only.
Sounds a bit Spinal Tap. That's right.
I just wanted to play it all the time, and you know, there was just.
Did you used to practice with the lights off? I know that when I used to get told to go to bedtime, I used to take my guitar and play in the dark. No,
I didn't go that far. I used to sleep with my guitar.
Alright, that's subject to another video. So just throw me.
When I say sleep, I mean lie next.
That's good. He's just taking it too far, man. That's the key to becoming good, I'm not sure. Natural talent.
You don't know what to say then.
I'm really stunned. I thought playing guitar in the dark was a good story. You just. I remember what I was going to say now. And how do you think, as a player, then, having had to figure stuff out and not? Because there's no real. I mean, me and you were the shredder guys, weren't we?
Yeah, we were.
Our friend Chris Walton. We were kind of. There weren't anybody else. We were from a blues town, weren't we?
That's right, yeah.
So how do you think that really helped you, having to literally figure stuff out, not really having any guitar teachers in you how to do that stuff?
Yeah. Well, I think, obviously it took me a lot longer to get there, but also I think it really made me used to trying to come up with my own ways of doing things. So I did a jazz degree. But I had a great guitar teacher there, a couple of great guitar teachers there, but they never actually showed me anything physical on the guitar. They never showed me any chord shapes, any scale shapes. There was none of that. It was just like, these are the notes, this is what to do with it. Go away and work out how to do it on your own.
Right.
And I think while it took me a long time to do it, I think I really benefited from that approach, because it was a case of, you know, my view of the fretboard is probably unique to me, as is yours, I'm sure. So as soon as you do have a unique view of the fretboard, and you're thinking about it in a different way, and you're coming up with your own licks and lines, then you are going to sound individual.
Sure. And can you shed any light on those early venturings into figuring out the fretboard, or is it just too complicated to explain?
Well, I was a 3-note per string player.
Yeah.
So I started off with all the shred things. So
3 notes per string.
Exactly, yeah. So it kind of gives you this diagonal view of the entire fretboard.
Yeah.
So I realised that. Where's my pick? I realised that wasn't going to work for me.
The amp on?
Yeah. I realised that wasn't going to work for me. Trying to play jazz and trying to play over changes. So what I did is I adapted those scale shapes, because I was very comfortable in those scale shapes, to just playing 2 notes every time I played the G string. And it just keeps it all in position. So all of my entire view of the fretboard is 7 positions going up, based on 3 note per string, but always with the 2 notes on the G string. And it just keeps you, it's nice on the fingers, but it keeps you in position everywhere you go. And I think I mean, it's a small change from what other people do, but thinking like that, slightly different, it does make you start to sound a little bit different.
Sure. Can you just show us again, like, what a typical 3 note per scale string shape would be, and then show us your version?
Yeah, sure. So you've got the this would be G major, and it runs from the root note to the 4th note to the 4th degree of the scale. So that's 3 notes on every string. Now I take 2 notes on a G string. And then you do it in all the shapes. So the Dorian shape, i.e. the major scale starting on the 2nd degree. That's your 3 note per string. But if you do the 2 notes on the G string, you've got, and you end up in the same position as you were as you started. So you kind of got all that. You've got all of that pentatonic stuff that fits in there, but it fits in with the 3 note per string. So it's a small change, but I think figuring things out for yourself and not having someone to say, here is a scale shape, here is how you play a major scale, and this is the best type of major scales for this type of playing. It helped me. It probably hindered me and slowed me down in a lot of ways, but it also helped me because I came up with my own way of playing.
Yeah, I definitely think we were lucky back then that we had to figure stuff out, because you know, it helped us, like I say, really make it our own. And I guess there's so many people out there now on YouTube just kind of showing the odd licks, and then a lot of my students now find they can play all this cool shreddy stuff, but they don't know how to integrate because they don't understand how it works, because they just easily just saw the thing they liked and all like that. You know, as we just went on the records and we had to figure out what key it was in and all that kind of stuff. Cool. So, what about early gigs? I mean, we had that memorable gig, didn't we? The one I'll always remember is the one where we played. Did we go back to our sixth form college? Because we studied music at sixth form college, did A-level music and stuff. And they do like a concert to recruit new students or something, don't they? They
That's
held
right.
it in a church. And
they call it the Levers concert, don't they?
Right, yeah, the Levers concert, and it was all classical players and clarinet players and stuff, and we decided to play the Attitude song by Steve Vai.
And not only did we play it, we came up with our own dance routine.
Yeah, there's somewhere out there, there's a VHS of me and Paul, well, I had longer hair back then, with loud shirts doing a choreographed dance routine.
Yeah, choreographed kicking.
Yeah, absolutely. And twirling, I think I remember.
Oh, it's so good.
And yeah, so we played with the backing track and the whole twin guitar lead thing, so absolutely insane. And at the end there's just one guy clapping, who I think was my dad.
I always remember the teacher, Alison, introducing it, and she didn't introduce it as the Attitude song because you'd given her another name. When she asked the name, you told her, "I'll just say it's the hardest twin guitar thing ever written." And she said, "And here's Paul and Dave playing," and I quote, "the hardest twin guitar thing ever written."
That's so good. So
started as we meant to go on.
Oh man, the other gig that I remember that was really funny was doing your final recital at Leeds. So I came and played bass on that occasion, and you were doing. Can you remember any of that stuff?
Yeah.
You did Flight of. Did you? No, you didn't do Flight of the Bumblebee.
I didn't do Flight of the Bumblebee.
You did Giant Steps.
I did Giant Steps. I did Moto Perpetuo by Paganini. I did Juice by Steve Vai as well.
Good work, top tune. And basically there are all these jazz boffins with clipboards.
Yeah.
And our friend on the drums, Joe Love, he basically did a big Phil, stood up and crashed his hi-hat behind his back like that, and you could just see the people slightly look up from it. Kind of.
Yeah, I was very much the rock kid on the jazz course when I was there.
Can you remember any of the Giant Step stuff?
No.
Oh. Even a bit.
The short answer to that is no.
Anyway, it was like a two-handed tapping crazy.
Yeah, I'm sure it's on YouTube. I used to play it in Carl's band as a solo, so I'm sure it's on YouTube. In fact, the audio for it is on my website.
Cool. Check it out, folks.
www.bielatowicz.com. The link's there.
Yeah. You'll need it because the spelling is complicated. So, we talked a bit about early techniques then. Do you think there's a technique that you've really kind of figured out on guitar that's... I don't know, I mean it's hard to come up with something unique.
Yeah.
That's really your own. Is there a thing you do?
Yeah, well,